Do you have any idea the impact that that makes on a prospect when you remove yourself from consideration, when everybody else is whoring themselves out to quote? It blows their mind. They want to know why you're different. They're, well, hold on. What do you mean reputation in the underwriting marketplace? And so I think that's one area where a lot of us can make some really good forward progress, is just educating on that process and then parlaying that into broker selection and why broker selection makes more sense than market assignment or request for proposal or however they're planning on going about it. So education, education, education. But the thing becomes, how do you do that? Because in order for you to educate a prospect that you're in front of, you got to be in front of them. And so that's part of it. But the other part is you have to have educational content out there that people can readily consume that are going to lead them to having those conversations with you. Every single one of us is busy beyond belief. There is no question or doubt about that whatsoever. And the number one obstacle that I get when it comes to creating content, doesn't matter if it's from people in the mastermind, Killing Commercial, or producers at Florida Risk Partners for that matter. But the number one excuse is, I don't have time. I don't have time to create content. And I'm going to call BS on that, because every single one of us has the time to do it. The real answer is you're not taking advantage of the time that you have that you're already educating. Think about this. During COVID, we had a massive shift to having meetings on Zoom. We went from meeting with people, sitting across the desk, rubbing knees with them and having a conversation, to meeting with them on Zoom. And that has carried on outside of COVID. I prefer that we have our first meetings on Zoom at this point, for all the reasons that irritate us as producers for having a first meeting in person. We get porched. The meeting, takes 2.5 hours out of our day by the time we drive there and get back. We lose the ability to maximize our prospecting efforts and everything else. But with Zoom, we can have that first meeting for 15 or 20 minutes. It's a much easier meeting for us to book because we're not intruding on a prospect's day at that point. They're willing to spend 15 or 20 minutes to hear what we have to say, especially if we know they have some financial inefficiencies we can help them correct. But the best part that we got from starting to meet on Zoom is that we can record those meetings. You can record the meetings with your team. You can record the meetings with your clients. You can record the meetings with your prospects. And when you do, you have never-ending content that comes from it. It does a couple things. Number one is it helps you produce content. Number two, it makes sure you actually educate, because you're attempting to produce content when you go into the meeting. So you're actually going to talk about the things that you want to educate somebody on. So those little Zoom meetings like that are absolutely perfect for you to be able to go in and just naturally explain something to somebody and then capture that and create content from it, whether it be blog posts, whether it be shorts, reels, TikToks, full-blown video, whatever, and then take that, chop it up, and distribute it. The key to educating and getting content out is create the long form and then chop it up and create everything from it. It doesn't matter who you talk to.